free at last. Every moment was a test, and every single second was a fight to rise above the sorrow, the fears, the uncertainties of the future, and even, to be honest, the temptation to be overcome by hate and vindictive thoughts. There was always that temptation. Lahat po yun nilabanan ko. Hindi ko isusuko ang aking pagkatao at pagiging tao. They may have taken years of my life, but they will never take my humanity. Ang mundo ay puno ng mga taong buktot ang kaluluwa at makasarili sa harap ng pagturusan ng taong bayan. I will never be one of them. Every second, every minute, every hour, every day, every month, and every year of the last 2,454 years, 4,054 days was a struggle. But the one thing I can honestly say is that I never allowed myself to even entertain any regret. No regrets. Yes, I wish things turned out differently, but these are things that were beyond my control. But for the things that were, what I did, how I reacted, and my reasons for fighting for those who were victimized and cannot speak for themselves, I have no regret. As I appear before you today, 6 years, 8 months, 21 days, after I peaceably surrendered myself to the authorities, it is one of my greatest achievements in my career and in my life to say that not only did I survive all these years of persecution and unjust detention, I came out stronger than ever, with an even stronger commitment to truth, justice, human rights, democracy, and the rule of law.
Yes!
These are not just words to me. These have been my lifeline. This has been my life before, during, and after my unjust detention started. Kayo po ang aking pinaglaban. Kaya maraming salamat dahil ako rin ay inyong pinaglaban. Maraming salamat po sa mga panalangin niyo at sa walang kapagurang pananalig niyo sa katotohanan. Diyos mabalos, mabuhay ang sambayan ng Pilipino at ang Pilipinas.
Boy! Leila De Lima!
Alright, we're opening up the floor for questions. First to ask is Jair Boleto from that.
Good evening po, ma'am. First of all, congratulations po sa legal victory na po nito. Ang question ko po, ma'am, nabanggit niyo po sa statement yun, yung mga persecutors niyo po, you'll never be like them. Although, ma'am, malaking bagay po itong petition for bail, motion for reconsideration na po, for bail yun na natanggap, hindi pa rin po tapos yung kaso. Dahil ongoing pa rin po siya. Pero masasabi niyo po ba na legally vindicated na po kayo with this recent victory?
Yes. Hindi ko pa po na babasa yung decision. Although I'll try as much as possible to really avoid talking about the merits, because as you said, as you acknowledge, hindi pa tapos talaga yung kaso. Baka masabtulisin tayo. Pero, I never, as I said, I never lost faith. And we have always been confident about the merits of my case. And even when we first filed my petition for bail, nung before, matagal na kami nag-file ng bail, we were already confident of the merits of that. It's just unfortunate that the previous handling judge denied it. And so when we filed our motion for reconsideration, I think it was in June 13, we remained to be confident that the merits of our application for bail will be recognized and upheld by the court. And it took this long, understandably, because the judge is a new judge. So we had to review the entire numerous records of the case. We were actually expecting a ruling as early as September. As I said, we filed the motion for reconsideration from June. So medyo tumagal understandably again, and ito nga, and I think, kasi nakita ko nga, ano ko pa nga nababasa, it was a thorough and extensive discussion of the merits of our motion for reconsideration. So it is a legal vindication because we were always confident. Okay, I cannot further make any comment about that. I have a lot to say about that. But, it's still pending. The case is still pending. Hindi pa po tapos. This is bail, this is provisional liberty, and this is definitely a great gift from the Almighty God.
Ang last question lang po for me. Yung Marcos administration po, sinasabi po nila po ulit na the justice system is working in the Philippines, and in response to your latest legal victory, Justice Secretary Crispin Rimulya, this is po yung statement niya. It just shows the independence of the judiciary, but I've always been saying from the beginning, and that they are free to decide as they please, as they need to. Any reaction na po sa statement po ni Justice Secretary?
I actually thank the administration for respecting the independence of the judiciary and the rule of law. Ganun lang naman, as somebody said, the legitimacy of the judiciary lies in its independence. It's just like, the legitimacy of the government or the legitimacy of the executive department or the government, the elected officials lie in the votes of the people. So judiciary, it's the independence. Without the independence of the judiciary, then we cannot say that the judiciary really has its legitimate standing in the scheme of things. So, tama yan na sinasabi na pinakita ngayon na we have a working system. Kasi matagal nga namin hinihintay na. When the Marcos administration came in, there was some hope, at least in my case, that justice will happen. And kasi nga, I always knew that while the former president was in power, I will not be set free. Because my persecution was his project. So how can I be set free during his term? So nung nagbago na ang administrasyon, may pag-asa talaga. At umasa talaga ako na umasa na makakamit ko yung hustisya at malalaman natin yung katotohanan about my innocence. But again, ayaw ko lang muna pagdagan yung mga ganyan statement. Medyo nasobrahan na lang. Okay.
Thank you, Sen. One question po for Sen Marisa. Any message po for Sen Leila now that she's feeling like we finally met each other now?
You did it. Konti na lang. And napakalaking dedication ito sa buong oposisyon. Itong dedication sa iyo. Kasi sa lahat natin, ikaw talaga yung sumalubong sa hindi ako dahil sa tapo kasi ikaw talaga yung sinirang po niya sinubukan namin. Ikaw talaga yun. Pineponize na yung buong legal system para lang parusahan ka kasi ikaw yung unang nag-investiga sa kanya. You continue to speak truth to power. At kahit sinubukan niyang tambakan ka ng ang mga ako naman sasabi ng kahit yung kaso hindi naman ikaw sasabi. Na-survive mo lahat yan. Na-survive mo yung stroke. Na-survive mo yung stage taking. Hindi ka tumigil magsalita sa mga issue. Libo na siguro yung mga handwritten letters mo from Crown. And here you are. Here you are. So itong pagpapayag sa wakas, nakapost ka ng bail, at yung nakikita mo, ganap na paglaya. Parang sumilit na ulit yung sikat ng araw. At alam natin, mahaba gaya ng gabi na maraming kababayan natin. Once sumigat yan, kahit sa mga jowa, so we're also happy to have you with us. And we all love you. Yeah. Pagkatapos ng mga luha ng paglaya mo, ito na yung yaman.
Atty. Lima dyan. And you also write me right away. Susulatan ko niyo.
Thank you, Sen. Thank you, Sen. Laila. Our next asked question is Atty. Mary from CNN Philippines.
Hi ma'am, good evening po. Hi ma'am, almost 7 years in detention. And you've mentioned about surviving persecution. Do you plan to go after your persecutors? Do you plan to sue them? And your message to former President Rodrigo Duterte?
First, yung message ko kay President Duterte, isa lang. God forgive him and God bless him. Yun lang muna ngayon. Marami pa akong pwedeng sabihin sa kanya. Pero wag muna. I don't want to be so, I don't want to be political sounding tonight because this is a moment of joy. This is a triumphant moment for me. So I, as much as possible, I want to be gracious. And so yun na lang muna. God forgive him and God bless him. He knows what he did to me. I suppose.
I'm sorry, any plans of counter-suing or whatever going after?
Pinag-uusapan namin yan ng mga ako. Wala ko yung mga specific na mga pwede i-announce about that. There's always that option, but as to definite plans, pinag-uusapan. Of course, there will be, I need to do something also. A lot of things to do. Hindi po, madali, napakahirap, masakit talaga, napapunta, kaya lang pag-asal. It's a matter of justice. Those that need to be held accountable should be held accountable.
Senator, I know you said that you have no regrets for what happened. But what was the lowest point in those 6 years, 8 months, 21 days? And what pulled you through?
Well, isa sa mga, was, of course, a personal life, sa family life, kasi may mga milestones sa family na mga na-miss ko. Like, for example, when my son, Vincent, passed the bar exams, and I was not allowed to attend his graduation. Masakit para sa akin yan. And then it's always painful to me that I'm not with my mom, my 91-year-old ailing mom who's now bedridden. So isa nga yan sa mga una kong gagawin. Umuwi ka agad ako sa Bicol para makapiling ko ang aking ina. And we haven't seen each other for more than 4 years already. So itong homecoming na to, this will give her the best Christmas gift. I definitely would want to see her already. Siya excited na rin siguro. Kanina, nung nasa court ako, pinakausap sa akin ng brother ko sa cellphone niya, yung mami ko. And she's waiting for me. And so, yun, masakit sa akin yun, na mawawala ka sa pamilya. And of course, yung mga nawawala, mga wala na sa mundo ito, mga kamag-anak, mga kaibigan, yung nawala sa Pinoy. I was so down, and I could not even pay my last respects. And some other friends, some other allies, like to say goodbye. Yung mga nawala for me. And so bad news or sad news and all that. But really, those updated with the news because meron naman akong
more than 6 years
and my staff would
of being alone
send me
because I've always
printed copies of news.
we do contemplative prayer and all that. So those are blessings. And then
We do contemplative prayer and all that. So those are blessings. And then I have learned to appreciate mundane things, small things in life. Pag umuulan, lumalabas ako sa quarters ko, para lang obserbahan yung ulan and all that. And then I have stray cats in my quarters. That's why I was so sad. I was almost crying when I left Camp Travel today or to Stolda today because I had to leave the cats there. They're in my companions. They kept my
I have learned, pero pag may mga bisita ako and then they would say, we can imagine what you feel. And then I'm tempted to say, no, you can never imagine what I feel. You will know it only when you go through this also yourself. I developed a very routinary daily life in my detention. It's a very routinary daily life. And my problem now is how to adjust. Kasi magiging iba na ang aking routine from now on. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sen. Leila. Any more questions? Si Mara from Straits Times.
Hi, Sen. Leila. Mara Cepeda po from the Straits Times. Ma'am, you've always been a very vocal figure in the Philippine opposition. What do you think, ma'am, are the implications of your release today for the Philippine opposition now? Your presence into the open world, I'm sure, do you think would it help invigorate the opposition forces, especially now that, kakaunti lang po sila ngayon sa Congress? So, what's your message for the opposition figures and the people in the opposition movement who are, of course, very happy that you're released?
First of all, my fight for my advocacies will continue. And my advocacies are really shared by the opposition. Fight for the truth, fight for justice, fight for rule of law, fight for democracy, fight for sovereignty. And definitely I'll be working side by side with the opposition. I remain to be an opposition. And I'm with the opposition because we share the very same advocacies, ideals, and visions for this country. And hindi naman natapos yung pakikilaban ko sa mga advocacies ko habang nakakulong ako. I never stopped. And now that I'm free, I'm even going to work harder for those advocacies.
Ma'am, if there's one thing that you want the international community to remember about your legal victory today, what would it be po?
Well, it is a vindication of my innocence. And I thank the international community for closely monitoring my case. They've been there, and it helped a lot. It means a lot to me. The international community, almost from day one, has been monitoring the progress of my case, and many of them, many personalities, foreign dignitaries, and also foreign organizations have been releasing statements calling for my release. And this is vindication. And I will further work for complete vindication because hindi pa natapos itong kaso na to. I want people to know the truth of my innocence. I want the people to know how it happened. I want the people to know who are behind it. So in due time, because that's vindication. Kasi maraming napaniwala noon. So this is my opportunity. Because, you know, they destroyed my life. And that's why I'm going to rebuild my life now. They destroyed or ruined my name, my reputation. Now that I'm free, I'm going to work hard to redeem my name. And vindication, complete vindication, is the key. Thank you.
Thank you, Sen. Any more questions? All right. Before we end, are there anything else that Senator Leila and Senator Risa would like to add?
Pasasalamat lang po sa inyong lahat. Hindi niyo ko pinabayaan. Kayo, my friends, my allies, my supporters, my sympathizers, for believing in me all this time, for your continued faith in me. Maraming salamat. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sen. Thank you, Sen. Leila. Thank you, Sen. Risa. Okay, that ends our presser for today. And thank you so much, friends in the media.